so cold. And I went back and I like grabbed a blanket and I was like, oh, this feels so nice. And I laid down. I just like turned onto one of the cots, which only had metal on it. Like it was not even one with a bed. And I like just snuggled onto that thing and I felt so fucking light in my stomach. I literally felt like I was floating on the cot. I didn't even feel the metal, right? And I'm like cherishing that floating feeling. And all of a sudden I went, boom. And I was like, what the heck? And I was on the ceiling of that room and I was like looking at my body and I was like, what the fuck? I just floated out of my body. From the feeling of lightness in the enema, I literally lifted out my body.
That's so cool. Nithyanandam, guys. Welcome back to the Kundalini Yogini. This is Priscilla. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. I am here and very excited to be sharing the stage once again with my BFF and lifetime traveling partner slash brother, Sri Nithya Neerajananda.
Greetings, everyone. I'm so glad to be on Priscilla's channel. I am blissed out as always with the Kundalini Yogini.
It's so awesome to have Neeraja back on the channel. Some of my all-time favorite videos we ever did were together. Actually, the very start of my channel, we did so many videos together because that's how we both kind of started taking off our YouTube channel at the exact same time when we were in India. So bringing back some good memories. So today we're going to be chatting about a topic which I shared with you guys a few weeks ago about one of my experiences of outer body astral travel during simply just a meditation process that I was actually doing without even a deep intention or a deep focus. I had this crazy experience of the cosmos just because I was doing life bliss meditation by our guru Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva, and it was a phenomenal experience to say the least. And I got a lot of questions that I think it's a perfect time to address because my brother has had far more experiences, I would say numerous experience with astral projection than I have, especially in his early years of his spiritual seeking. So I would just love for you to share any experiences that you want to open up about and how those tie into the spiritual path that you have now.
Awesome. So what I want to share when it comes to astral projection and essentially what we're calling astral projection is nothing but infusing consciousness into one of the other states of consciousness you pass through in your 24 hours in a day, right? Which is that we're on this cycle of merging through 25 states of consciousness. This is a science which we've been taught as per Sanatana Dharma and from the Veda and Agama scriptures. And these 25 different states of consciousness are accessible to you as a human. And when you infuse more consciousness into all of the states that you're in, you come to find yourself in full-fledged experiences in other realms, and the multi-dimensions of yourself start waking up, which is really powerful. And what I want to say is so many powerful realizations have come to me by experiencing and expressing super possibilities in astral projections or lucid dreams, because I have fallen from miles in the sky after flying to an inch from the ground, and by realizing I'm in power and chanting a mantra that wakes me up back to that higher possibility, I don't hit the ground and take right back off. And
wow.
there's so much, but there's a certain experience that I really want to share that I've kind of been sitting pregnant with for a couple years, actually waiting to deliver it on my channel. But I feel like it's more important to deliver it to you guys now because the space is here. And I want to share this experience. So when I was in India, I had a powerful experience. One night, I was sleeping, and I was not sleeping though, and the body was sleeping. In my dream, it started out as a third-person experience. I was watching a man steal a car, okay? It was dark, it was nighttime, and he was on a street in a neighborhood, and he was stealing a car off the street. Now, as he's stealing this car, I see from that perspective, I was kind of like a floating consciousness. I saw there was a porch with like 6 men on the porch who noticed their car getting stolen and freaked out, started saying, hey, that's whoever's car being taken, and they all ran off the porch and they started shooting at the car, okay? And all of a sudden, I'm the driver in the car and I'm trying to get away, stealing this car, and very quickly the back wheel got shot out, the car turned and I hit the curb, the car stopped, airbag went off, and I got out of the car to run, and I got shot 6 times in the back and felt all of that. Landed in, like, so on like a normal suburban neighborhood, it's like, it's like someone's house lawn, and then there's like a small sidewalk, and then a little piece of extra grass, and then it's the street, right? I fell on that little extra grass space face down, and then I died in that body, okay? I rose up out of the body which I had died in, and then I got to experience what it was like to go through that process. And what occurred to me is I started to come out further and further and further away from that body. I got past the cloud layer and past to where I could see Earth.
I like to call it zooming out.
Yeah, exactly. I was zooming out further and further. So powerful, powerful, powerful realizations began occurring as I got further away, and the picture of the cosmos got clearer and clearer and clearer. So I was passing through gaseous clouds and stars and worlds being created and exploded, and I was seeing so much color and awesome stuff. But as I zoomed out further and further and further, all those worlds and clouds and planets and stars, what essentially made up what we call the Milky Way, I got to the edge to where I was able to start perceiving the shape of that. And a major realization happened because I saw that that shape was not what I expected. It was not some line or fluff across the sky. It started in one spot, and it, as a gigantic Fibonacci spiral expanding outward, was coming. All these stars and worlds as this big stream of spiraling up, okay? But as I got further away from that, it turns out it wasn't one spiral, it was 2. And it was a gigantic cosmic DNA helix that I was looking at as I zoomed further and further and further out. And as I kept going and kept going and kept going, realizing what was going on, like the whole cosmos is us, that we are the microcosm, the macrocosm, etc. It turns out there's billions of these gigantic cosmic DNA strands of stars and planets, and as I get further out. Well, then I hit something, my back, or what was behind me, as I zoomed out, and I got to this space, and it felt like a bubble. It felt like I was passing through a bubble, and as I passed through the bubble, I actually came out. And what was in front of me was like a little cell. And I could see that whole cosmos and all those billions of cosmic DNA star strands inside this bubble. And then I looked up, and there was hundreds or thousands of these cells, bubbles, microcosms floating around. And I realized that we are all of it, and that all of it exists. One cell holds the entire cosmos inside of it. And funny enough, in that moment that complete truth that this whole cosmos is me landed in me, all I could do was I just shut my eyes and like embraced the space and chanted the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, just exclaiming my existence as the pure reality of the cosmos. And when I did so, long story short, what happened was I was sucked straight back into the bubble, all the way through thousands of miles of space, as fast as you can imagine, and smacked right back into the dead body on the side of the street. I then picked up that dead body after having this entire realization experience. Mind you, I also realized I'm Neerajananda, who's experiencing this whole thing, and that, while I was experiencing it. And when I landed back in the body, it was so odd, because then I felt everything. It was like I was shot and I had to get myself to a hospital, and I did. I got myself to a hospital, got myself treated, and I ended up staying in that body, in that dream for 2 years.
What?
For 2 years. I recall continually going back to the mirror in my bedroom, in this bathroom that I was staying in, and staring at myself in the mirror. I was maybe a 32, 33-year-old Asian male, and my teeth were different. Everything was so unique that I knew it was an individual being. It was a unique experience, but I knew it wasn't me. And I'm like, I'm Neerajananda. Why am I trapped in this body that I died in? This is so weird. What the heck's going on? And the only thing I knew is I only know one solution to anything when it comes to gigantic, confused spiritual realities. I gotta go find my guru. So in that dream, I then got that body which I was in all the way to India to my guru in the ashram. And I said to him, I'm Neerajananda. Like, why am I in this body? Oh my
What the
gosh.
heck? That is
And I woke
trippy.
up. And I woke up. And
That's so crazy.
all of that happened as I feel like it was an initiation, because
Straight up. That's
without
amazing.
having to die, I got to go through the death experience of seeing the whole cosmos and all the possibilities that exist, and to find out that and just know experientially that all of that exists within me and within each one of you, and in every cell of our being holds the whole cosmos. It's like
Dang.
the truth of that reality delivered to me in this experience. It's like I can only say that seeking these experiences for yourself, seeking to infuse more awareness and consciousness into your day, to infuse it into your dreams and into your astral and into your causal and into your pranic layers and all the bodies that you have, which maybe that's subject of another video.
Yeah, I think so. We'll go into the koshas in another video.
But having the possibility to know, yes, you are multidimensional. Yes, we all go to sleep at night and we go into different realms. Now, some of us are aware of what's happening in that space, and you can infuse even more consciousness. Because as far as I go, which I'm a very simple being, I enjoy the things I enjoy. When I become aware that I'm not in the physical realm, the first thing I do is fly, and that is the only thing I generally desire, is to fly. And it's so powerful because to break down the impossibility,
Yeah.
it's that I find myself in a body which feels physical,
Yeah.
which feels like me, but I know that it's a dream. So the only thing that makes that possible is my belief. Now, the reality is this is a dream, and your belief also creates this reality. So being able to show myself the possibility of flying or jumping out of a window and knowing that I'm more powerful than that,
Yeah.
and being able to live through that experience and taste it, is so powerful for the waking state. Because when I come
Yeah.
back, I'm
You realize.
so sure of myself.
Actually, I have to tie in this story because I realized how perfect it was. Before we even decided to make this video, I didn't even think of this until when you were talking. Me and Neeraja had this crazy experience that you guys have to hear too, because this was a trip and a half. I also had a very similar experience of flight, not exactly everything he experienced in that one, but was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago? I had a dream where I was flying over the town we grew up in. Huntington Beach is what it's called in California, and I was with my brother. I was with Neeraja, and it was very vivid. Like it was lucid. I was completely aware, and I was there. I was conscious, and I just wanted to fly. I always do that also. So I was flying around the sky, and it was kind of dusk, like the evening time, like it is now, and starting to get dark. And what we would do is we'd fly. We would want to see everything, like looking down the ocean, all the houses, and then we would fly up as high as we could past the clouds, and then we would let ourselves drop. It's like we could turn off the flight power, like we could just stop with the effort, and we would start to plummet, like rapidly plummet down to the earth, and we would get like almost like scary close to the ground, and then we would catch ourselves and fly back upwards. And it would just be like this huge like exhilaration and rush, and like we were just like playing this game with each other, and we were laughing, talking, thinking like, I wonder if Dad could see us, like if he could really know what we're doing up here. Like we were having this whole conversation. When I woke up the next morning, I remembered it perfectly clearly. I texted Neeraja like a really short message, just like, hey, you were in my dream last night. We were flying all above Huntington Beach, and it was just so specific. Like we would fly up past the clouds, and then we'd let ourselves fall, and then we'd catch ourselves. And he just goes,
Okay, because I gotta share, like, even hearing this right now is like mind blowing, because let me tell you what I was doing at that moment. I was in Dallas, Texas with my team, which I have for a business, and we were all staying in an Airbnb together. It was about maybe 4:30 a.m. or 5 a.m.
which is when
Texas
I would be
time,
dreaming in dream
which
state.
is when she was asleep in California time.
Yeah.
Like we stayed up the entire night talking, and I was sharing with them my astral projection experiences, and I brought up one specific experience, which was about flying up above the clouds, crescendoing and falling, and then, but this time, it's funny actually, we're sitting in the house where this experience happened to me. Oneness. So check this out. I was in this house about 2 years ago, and I had an astral projection. I flew through the roof, and we're currently on a part in California called Palos Verdes. It's like a small mountain peninsula off the edge of the coast. And I flew up above the clouds so I could see it. But when I did, my ability to fly shut off, right? This always happens to me. And as I'm falling, though, this time I had a different reaction than normal. Normally I let myself fall, and then I chant a mantra right before I hit the ground, and I take back off. This time, as I was falling, I just closed my eyes, and this very powerful cognition came up in my inner space, and I laughed to myself because I realized there's nothing to hit. I'm falling in my own consciousness. And then when I got to whatever the ground was, I didn't hit anything, but I felt myself pass through like an energetic kind of a thing. And all of a sudden I was in like a fantastical, way different, crazy realm, and other stuff went on. But like the powerfulness of these experiences, but I was sharing this literally, and it was so vibrant and so alive when I was sharing it with these people. And then literally I get a text an hour later, my sister saying, hey, I just had this experience with you in the astral realm, flying and dropping. And I'm like,
come again?
What the heck? You in tune. I was literally just talking about that with people, about how I fly and astral project and fall, and now you're telling me we were just doing that together.
Yeah. And we have like hundreds of stories like that, to be honest, like of like just bizarre like synchronicities, like more than a synchronicity, like pure oneness experiences happening between us in our lives throughout the years. But yeah, that was just one that tied perfectly into this experience. And
I can really see it. These two have so many stories together. You should see them text one another. It's like, what are you guys talking about? Like, she has more of a relationship with him than she does me.
Oh, too funny, but like, right? It's such a beautiful experience, and man, I think that you tied it in perfectly though, like just the power of having those experiences. It's not like the point of the experience is the experience. It's what you get from the experience which matters. The understandings that you get from the experience, the cognitions that you get from the experience of understanding clearly I'm not limited to this body. I've had so many numerous experiences in my life that have showed me direct experientially this consciousness that is me, that feels me, can never die, can never go anywhere, and can do anything that it wants, can do anything that it wants. This body I might be grounded in most of the time and limited in, but that's a different story. My consciousness is infinite, has experienced death. I had, as you guys, another funny thing, I don't think he's seen my last video that you guys might have seen about my astral projection experience in meditation, where I saw Saturn and literally saw how the entire solar system moves in a DNA helix. which is exactly what Neeraja just shared.
What?
So clearly you can see,
Hey.
but the beauty is too to show. I think what it just shows me too is not just our oneness, but the fact that there's actually a cosmic reality which we are seeing. It's not just a fantasy experience. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just the imagination that made it up. And I know so many people that have shared similar experiences, and I'm sure if I went to go seek it, I would find thousands of others that have had a similar mapping of their experience of the cosmos. And ultimately, the juiciest part would be to see what the rishis have said about it, which they have mapped the entire Hindu cosmology, which we'll make further videos about, both of us.
Absolutely.
And I'm really excited for that topic as well.
Just to throw in
Yeah.
really quick on
Yeah.
top, as like maybe an ending note,
Yes, please.
which is that understanding that you are the body also is fantastic. Understand that
Fantastic.
it is really, really necessary for each one of us as an individual to realize we're much, 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 much more than the body, because then when we do get to express through it, it's a joy and not a pain, not a weight, not a torture on us.
It's a gift.
But I just wanted to quickly throw in this experience, which was I have in my astral body jumped out the window of my bedroom and I was actually swimming around in the pool in our backyard, back when we had a pool in our backyard, and all of a sudden I realized, hey, I think my body's in that room. So I flew back out of the pool and back through my wall on the second floor story and into my room, and there it was, my sleeping body in my bed. And I looked at it and I was like, what the heck, right? And I saw, but I floated over my body and I saw which position I was laying in my bed. And I put my hand into my hand first, and then my leg, and I laid myself back into my body. The very second I fully fell into the body, I sat up in my bed like this and was like,
So that,
yes, like, let's go. Like, yes, I'm freaking much more than this body. Holy
that
crap,
just
I just
happened?
flew back into my own body. Let's go. So I would encourage all of you to seek out these higher dimensional experiences, to question into your multidimensionality, and don't take listening to these experiences or other people's perspectives as good enough as your own experience. Go
Yep.
get that experience, taste it yourself, and see what happens.
absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
Ooh,
Let's go.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Let's close this video before we get too creepy. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this sharing. I know it's more casual, but these are like some of the best videos we find to make, and I think you guys also enjoy them. I would love to hear your experiences as well in the astral realm, and if you guys also have any further questions on the technicalities of safe astral projection, I would also like to discuss that with you. I won't add it on because the video is too long, but there's a lot of little techniques we can share with you that are really important and can help you make sure that your experience is powerful and positive and not the other direction, which definitely can happen. So yes,
Yes,
we'll
absolutely.
close with that one and discuss further in the next videos. Nithyanandam, guys.
Nithyanandam.
What is he?